There's Gigawing and Gunbird, which are two sort of classic arcade shooters, both very good. Next one's quite interesting, and it's R-Type Final, which was, as it suggests, was certainly on the PlayStation 2, was the last R-Type that was produced. It's surprisingly good. It really is surprisingly good. I suppose because of my because of my previous interest in arcade games specifically, it's not very often that there's an original that's released, i.e. R-Type, and that it gets beaten by a successor. Normally the original's the best. I think R-Type as a game arcade is absolutely awesome. I absolutely adore it. I think it's just great. Besides the fact it was quite an inspiring game at the time, and I'm sure without that game we wouldn't have seen so many other very similar games. But R-Type Final is really, really good. It looks great and it plays really good as well. So again, that may be one of the favourites for doing a review. Now this is going to be one of the names I'm going to start to struggle with now. We've got Shigami no Shiru, and also the second one of that, which is Shigami no Shiru 2. So there was two versions that were brought out on the PlayStation 2. I hope I've got this right, because I have played it. I certainly have played it, but I haven't played nowhere near as much of the other ones. But I'm pretty sure that this was a vertical shooter that could be actually viewed on a vertical screen, and which again suits my cabinets really well. And the last two games are Savaria, sorry, I'm struggling now. Right, PSYARIAR, and I've got two versions of that. I've got the first one, which is the complete edition, and the second one, which was named that 2. So, and again, that's very similar in its style to Shikigami no Shiru, in the way it's a vertical shooter. Both of those games were also released on the Dreamcast, and again they're very similar. Obviously the graphics, I think between the two versions they were virtually the same, to be honest. I don't think I've noticed any major differences, but I haven't literally played them back to back, so there may be some subtle differences. But again, vertical shooters, and they were more of the sort of modern type shooters, because they're not things like Dodonpachi and Bara, and certainly the first initial versions of Espgaluda and Mushi are a typical cave style shooter. I think anyone that's played cave games, their sort of graphic styles are all very similar. But the other two games, which I'm not going to pretend to pronounce properly again, they're quite a bit different. They're a bit more futuristic, and I've never really got on with them, to be honest. Hence why I can't pronounce the names, and B, why I can't specifically remember what the games are about. I've never really got on with them because they've sort of moved from what I call a shoot 'em up, and it's I don't know, they just don't seem right to me. But again, if anyone wants to see reviews of those games, I can do videos of those. I haven't got a problem with that. So I suppose, and the real reason for this video was to sort of highlight the various shoot 'em ups, the various really good shoot 'em ups that are on the PlayStation 2, and also for you guys, like I said, if you've got any any preferences to any ones of these that you'd like to see a review of sooner rather than later, then please drop me some comments and I'll see what I can do for you. Thanks for listening. I'll speak to you soon.